says since his client has not been charged, he will push for the right of hibiscus because a police bond is not attainable at this stage. By broadcast time, Mr. Nakachinda remained in detention.
On the fact that we're campaigning in Kawat and we're being charged for the
allegedly defaming the president and proposing violence. Mr. Nakachinda was on Thursday morning summoned to state.
Of course, we can see how we are being handled now. Like common criminals, purely based on the fact that we're campaigning in Kawat and we're being charged for the campaign message in Kawat and seeking that the people vote for a peace candidate.
And Makebi Zulu, who is Mr. Nakachinda's lawyer, echoed his sentiments as he vowed to work around the clock to ensure that his client is released.
Going to arrest him, and the state has told us they have the right to put him there. They've warned and cautioned him. They've said the charges that they wish to prefer against him, but they've neglected to arrest him and charge him for those particular offenses that they prefer, which is a travesty of justice. We heard the president at his inaugural speech, as it were, when he said no suspect should be put in custody without a charge. That was a directive. As a matter of fact, the police were told, and all investigative agencies, to say no one should be put in custody without being charged.
Ichilema of abandoning his duties.
I do not think this is delivering better living standards for our people. So the problem is, bolanga yakosa, kwamba kula chitafimbi. Bola yakosa, so kula. This is what is going on. Governance is not that easy. So to divert people's attention from real issues on the ground, this is what we are seeing here. For me, I believe this is a way of trying to divert people's attention.
Meanwhile, police spokesperson Leah Monga has since disclosed that Mr. Nakachinda, aged 43,
have warned and cautioned Rafael Mangani Nakachinda, aged 43, of plot number 1794, Kafue district, for the offences of proposing violence, contrary to section 91, subsection 1, paragraph C, and defamation of the president, contrary to section 69 of the Penal Code of the Laws of Zambia. This is in relation to the utterances he made during his campaign trail in Chilenjes, Mapaloto area between 6th to 12th of January.
Checks and balances of the government, which of our colleagues have really failed to do that. Instead, now they have now resorted to insults. And this is not what is going to build this country. And my appeal to my colleagues, please, let's respect the president. And I'm so happy that the new Dawn government, we are very peaceful people. And if you have noticed, there is no violence in Zambia. People are able to move freely. People are able to exercise their rights as Zambians. People are able to see the change which is coming. And I remember very well, I know people, they are capitalizing on the increase of fuel and the increase of tariffs. And the president has really made it to say, let's remove the subsidy and tell the people the actual price of the fuel, the actual price of our electricity. And this is what has done. And that money which was going to the few individuals in the previous government, it has now gone to education. It has now gone to medicine. If you have seen now, this year, children who go to school minus paying anything. If you have noticed, a lot of things have started changing. So my appeal to my colleagues, please, let's not demean the office of the presidency. And my colleagues in the opposition, please do what the Zambian wants from you, which is checks and balances of the government. Coming to the election, I know everyone is aware that they have postponed the election. As a person who was also involved in these elections, I think let's not go again and start attacking the government or the ruling party. It's in the Constitution, it's enshrined in the Constitution. Talk about the Constitution. If there are lacunas in the Constitution, you have to correct these lacunas. If these elections were not suspended because of the current government, no, because of the lacunas which are in our Constitution. So let's not blame anyone.
How ready are you as UPND to proceed with elections in Kawata?
Meanwhile, United Party for National Development UPND Lusaka Province Youth Chairperson Anderson Banda has cautioned Patriot Front PF members against insulting the president Hijlema. Speaking at a media briefing, Mr. Banda says he has specifically singled out PF Publicity and Information Chairperson Raphael Nakachinda and Kawush Member of Parliament Bowman Lusambo, among others, to stop using vulgar language on the president and allow him to focus on developing the country. Mr. Banda emphasized the youth leaders will not tolerate such behavior from the PF, instead will be forced to follow the route PF members understand better. Some unruly suspected UPND cadres on Thursday afternoon stormed into the premises of Given Lubinda Foundation on private property, harassing a caretaker. The teachers, including the learners who were on site at time, were threatening to grab the equipment such as computers and other properties. Speaking in an interview with Muvi TV News, Tinashe Banda says the alleged UPND cadres stormed the area, claiming they want to take over and all the equipment, and therefore ordered everyone who was inside to vacate the place. She says they later started chanting threatening songs of while charging towards the pupils who were having lessons. Ms. Banda says this scared everyone and they decided to run there for their safety at Richard Kachingo Police Post, who came to their aid. Operation Young Vote OIV Executive Director Ges Nyirenda says urgent need for government to partner with civil society organizations and other professionals and quickly refine the country's constitution. Speaking at the media briefing on Thursday morning, Mr. Nyirenda says government is in no time set out on a roadmap before the end of this month on reforming the constitution and the legal framework as a matter of priority and urgency. He also says his organization has commended government for prioritizing the fight against corruption and plunder. Monze land fight over. 450 Kayuni primary school pupils have their education prospects at risk due to the land controversy, claiming the school building was built on his piece of land and has since ordered to have his property back. Speaking in an interview with Muvi TV News, the aggrieved Kayuni villagers have explained Mubila Mwilu, who retired some years back under MMD government in the Ministry of Agriculture, is trying to attempt to steal about 17 hectares of land from the community, and he has stopped most of the community activities such as selling of milk and the collection at the collection center. Community representative Doreen Kabunda says pupils at Gayuni Primary School are not learning mathematics, science and other subjects because of most of teachers were chased by Mr. Mubila to the controversy. More in the following report.
Muntu omwe abeje kwamba kuti awabusena pomwandipang'anda ndichisibusena bupati wakuti ambewo ngake eli mulimi ndipange famu kekulima yake aligwaya ngakaindi amana walemba hipe pahakubeja watola kuma officers bamwe babuluti kuina bantu baliko kuli bantu eno setuliko kuno tetwali kuswena pe kambo twaliko akale amana oyo muntu mapepa akwe basaini kekuli buseno busena bama farmers bainda 50
ga area gano kuba gapegwa wamba kuti bajitema development kuzwaliri but just recently bagatalika kulwana abantu bambi aba bantu mbomubwene bali wano ba minister aba bambi. They had businesses here, they were taking milk. All their milk bars are now closed. And they are losing on a daily basis more than 10,000 kwacha just here at this milk collection center.
The farmers have since been denied access to bulking facilities, leading to loss of revenue. You may wish to note that this is peak season of milk collection. For Kayuni Dairy, the loss of business is well in excess of the revenue. This revenue belongs directly to the state. It's not for a big businessman or anybody. It's for the state. Childhood education has been affected because the preschool has also been seized. Houses meant for government officers such as the agriculture camp officer, livestock vet assistant and teachers have been seized and therefore affecting the provision of government services. This school here does not have a science teacher, a maths teacher, business studies teacher, and so on, because the houses in which they are meant to stay have been seized by Mr. Don't be surprised if this school does not open in 2024.
Watching the primetime news on Muvi television. For now, we'll go for a break. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the National Institute of Public Affairs of the Republicans. You can join EOS. Simply visit our website on 0991, or you can find us on facebook.com/.
Bob. How did you get in there? With my Airtel Money Mastercard.
For all things online, the Airtel Money Mastercard. It's not a card.
And Monza towns due to floods as all the bridges have been washed away. The residents who in the area and Wengwa area member on the bridges and Minister of Lands Elijah Muchima has assured the Wengwa member of parliament that the road will be worked on.
Independence. This is the road where our forefathers used to drive their animals, okay, to Zambia Momba. But you can see how a PF, the previous regime, neglected this road. They didn't see any value, okay, on this road. But we, the people who live here, because it's ourselves who saw our forefathers driving animals to Zambia Momba, we value this road, and we are kindly asking the new Dawn regime under the...
We should not fear that. Be brave. Look, where? Not even in my area do I have such bridges like this. And with this flooding, you're spot on. This is what people, they gave us a lot of vote. We need to pay back. Those who are condemning, look, let them come and pass with their vehicles. It's unfortunate they don't pass through here. The people who are suffering are the local people who gave us the vote. We need to look at this place. We need to look at the distance from here to Mose. And we're saying to bring fertilizer. Then it's becoming more costly to the government to cover 400 kilometers instead of 60, 70 kilometers here. These are issues which need to be addressed. I need to talk to my colleagues also, become especially those who have got the means. My money, lands development can only open areas for development.
Senior Chief Shakumbila of Sala people of Mumbwa and Shibuyonji district in Central Province has called for a quick solution to the mining wrangles in his chiefdom. At the center of this is the old Luo gold mine in Matala, which was run by Dan Ruben Gold Mine Company until 1945. Senior Chief Shakumbila says he is happy with some of the recent prospective investors. Various stakeholders have called on government to secure the gold mine and other gold deposit sites in Mumbwa to stop questionable entities from dubiously acquiring the mines.
Senior Chief Shakumbila of the Sala people of Mumbwa and Shibuyonji districts in Central Province has called for a quick solution to the mining wrangles in his chiefdom. At the center of this is the old Luilwi gold mine in Matala, which was run by Dan Ruben Gold Mine Company until 1945. Since then, it has been a source of controversy between any investor intending to begin operations and members of the chiefdom. Senior Chief Shakumbila says he is happy with some of the recent prospective investors.
All these companies which have been coming were kangaroo companies, short-lived companies. Today, tomorrow they go. Also introduced themselves to us, to the people, that they got the license from Capriferas and they are ready to work with us. So to us, really, Ozone has proved to be a better investor whom we can live with, whom we are ready to work with. Because I've gone through all these companies. I know them very well. And no one can come and cheat me. Me, I'm an investor. I've come to do this money. No. Me, I don't accept easily like that. I want something where everybody will be happy.
Currently, the company is operating with an exploration license but has embarked on various projects in the community, such as the construction of a 1x3 classroom block at Shakumbila Secondary School and the sinking of 20 boreholes in the community.
I'm Mwanga Odrin. I'm a teacher at Shakumbila Secondary School. These are challenges that we are facing as a school, starting from the infrastructure, that is the classroom blocks that we have. They are not enough. Looking at the number of the pupils that we have, we only have one classroom block, which is 1x3, and we are enrolling grade 8 up to 12, under which we've got a lot of learners in each class.
Some of the local headmen and headwomen have welcomed the move.
Muntu aso ni muntu wabwino mani because abwera no king asabwera che ijaka bisira cha mwaona my investors babwera muno ni bambiri maningi bango tubera che god ingo yenda che god then bakambati this country is poor nangani ofutika bwanji ka nani country because there is a god, there is a copper vonse viliko vini mu Zambia muno but when we bali kulemera ni foreigners who are going out.
Timarandira ma investors osiyana boro sevenza but kulipa vamene timaona ma investors vamene amatichitira so ife ma headman bali kuno wonse muntu amene tifuna osebenza naye ni horizon because horizon pamene anabwera anapanga wodi kuli ife.
Various stakeholders have called on government to secure the gold mine and other gold deposit sites in Mumbwa to stop questionable entities from dubiously acquiring the mines. Virginia Chilongo, Muvi TV News, Mumbwa.
Minister of Health Sylvia Masabo says is aware of the first by the people of Luapula province on matters of health. Speaking when she paid a courtesy call on Luapula province minister Derek Chilundika, Ms. Masabo says she is aware of the challenges such as shortages of manpower, infrastructure, ambulances and shortage of drugs in most health facilities. The minister noted that despite a plan to deploy about 11,000 health workers this year, the ministry will also consider improving the infrastructure outlook of numerous health facilities. Ms. Masabo was responding to Luapula Province Minister Derek Chilundika, who made an appeal to her ministry to deploy more health workers in the province and also address the challenges that the ministry is facing in the province.
Challenges that the people of Luapula are facing in the area of health service delivery. I'm alive to issues of human resource shortages because it's not just in Luapula. The problem of shortages of manpower in our hospital facilities is a national problem. And then of course the challenge of ambulances, especially in the rural areas of Zambia, which also includes Luapula. I also have come to learn that it is a big challenge. The issue of infrastructure is also very much a challenge, but I was informed that Luapula was better in terms of structures. I think that the previous administration did a bit of work in that regard, except obviously we will still have a problem of employing new people for those new structures, equipping them and also ensuring that they have new staff to make them functional. So the number of new infrastructure in the country that were built over the years requires over 11,000 new staff. And then the old structures that are in existence also require a number over 11,000. So for this year, we have this 11,200, which is a very good step. I've learned that since 2016, some sections of the...
In terms of staffing, yeah, so as you are considering the 11,200 health staffs, you really need to give us a very good allocation because we have a challenge with the staff. Most of the facilities are understaffed. Then we also have other logistics issues like transport. I'm sure the provincial medical director will be able to give you the details. The province doesn't have sufficient ambulances and other related vehicles that we need to use in your ministry. Besides infrastructure.
The United Party for National Development UPND Lusaka Province Youth Chairperson Anderson Banda has cautioned Patriot Front PF members against insulting the president. Speaking at a media briefing, Mr. Banda says he is specifically singled out PF Publicity and Information Chairperson Raphael Nakachinda and Kabushi Member of Parliament Bowman Lusambo, among others, to stop using vulgar language on the president and allow him to focus on developing the country. Mr. Banda emphasized the youth leaders will not tolerate such behavior from the PF, instead will be forced to follow the route PF members will understand better.
For National Development, Lusaka Province Youth Chairperson Anderson Banda has specifically singled out Patriotic Front Information and Publicity Chairperson Raphael Nakachinda and Kambushi MP Bowman Lusambo and others to stop disrespecting and using vulgar language on the president and allow him continue to develop the country.
The president was brutalized for 23 years to swallow the bitter pill and accept, okay, let's move on in this direction the government has directed us to do, to follow. It's not easy. So PF should not take that for granted. Should not think that we are naive. We are not naive. All what we are doing is respecting our democracy, our human rights, and also the policy direction the new government has taken.
Speaking during a media briefing in Lusaka, 13th January 2022, he says the Patriotic Front politicians should let the new government process to reign.
Respect yourself from today. This is our timely warning, friendly warning. We want peace. We want an environment which is conducive for everyone. When you are wrong, you are wrong. As I speak, we have our own youths who fought hard to form government. They jail them because they compete with the law. We did not say because these are our youths, these are our members, you police don't arrest them. No. We've set the precedence that the police should not ask anyone or get instruction or call anyone for instruction to effect arrest or to do their work. They are supposed to understand themselves that this is wrong, this is right. And we've told our youths, we've told our members, in new government, this is the precedence we are setting. You are wrong, regardless of your political affiliation.
He has also added by warning all the politicians to stop their behavior and let people live in peace. Caroline Mwanza reporting for Muvi.
Well, we go for another break. More stories thereafter.
Has she answered yet? Have you decided? Yes.
The answer is yes.
You said yes! Yes!
Yes!
She said yes!
Hey, Chawama. Whoa! Congrats, bro!
What? We'll be there. Last Sunday of next month.
Are you here?
You may give her the ring.
Everyone, say Tupi Life. Tupi Life!
One day, I'll give you the world.
Oh, you already have.
Celebrate Fi Life na Kangwe Kesu. Call at 1 way per second to all networks.
One expert, get lucky.
Fairview University College is enrolling students for the January-April 2022 intake in the following: School of Education, Bachelor of Education in Early Childhood Education, Bachelor of Education in Primary Education, Bachelor of Education in Secondary Education, Bachelor of Education in Special Education, Diploma in Early Childhood Education, Diploma in Primary Education, Diploma in Secondary Education, Diploma in Special Education, Certificate in Early Childhood Education, School of Humanities and Social Sciences, Diploma in Public Relations, School of Hotel and Tourism, Diploma in Food and Production, Diploma in Front Office, Diploma in Food and Beverages Management, Diploma in Hospitality and Events Management, and Diploma in Sales and Marketing. For more information, visit us at Regent College along Kwazi Road or the North Mid Campus at plot number 11 Luamba Road, Lusaka, or call us on 0955 787114 or 0966 787114 or 0977 787114. Fairview University College. We aim at excellence.
Welcome back. Operation Young Vote OIV Executive Director Ges Nyirenda says urgent need for government to partner with civil society organizations and other professionals and quickly refine the country's constitution. Speaking at a media briefing on Thursday afternoon, Mr. Nyirenda says government is in no time set out a roadmap before the end of this month on the reforming constitution and the legal framework as a matter priority and urgency. He also says his organization has commended government for prioritizing the fight against corruption and blunder.
Crisis in which the country finds itself. Much as we may blame ourselves as citizens, we also blame politicians because politicians have tended not to attach importance or seriousness to the constitution making. They have, in fact, we have allowed them as citizens to play with our constitution as their own toys. We see really that this is quite sad, especially if we go back in the memory lane, we see that the way the constitution was made, the current constitution, leaves a lot to be desired. We know that the technical committee on drafting the Zambian constitution did a very good job from the other constitutional review reports and draft constitutions like the Mungomba, the Mvunga, and everything else. So we saw that the Patriotic Front regime did everything it could to adulterate our constitution so that we find ourselves in this kind of lacuna. And the idea for them was their continued stay in power. As Operation Young Vote, we are urging all citizens, stakeholders, and especially the young people to be part and parcel of this thorough cleaning of the constitution so that together.
Well, the newly appointed members of Service Commission drawn from various government wings have been sworn in their respective positions with the call on them to serve the country diligently. Among those appointed, Dr. Jolwe Beani, Wendy Mulenga and Lusa Kalemba in the Civil Service Commission. Sworn in the Teaching Service Commission are Clement Sinyinda, Regina Musokotwe and Frida Lukwesa as members of the commission. Others who have been sworn in the Zambia Correctional Service Commission are Warren Siwotwe, Vice Chairperson, Angela Mwansa, Tom Silwindi, Barnabas Chia Munazembe, Webelo and Mebo Kunda as members of the commission. Meanwhile, others sworn in under the Zambia Police Service Commission are Namakau Kawiku, Vice Chairperson, Leslie Chikuse and Inonge Wamulume, and members of the Commission, and speaking at the official swearing in, Chief Justice Mumba Malila has cautioned the new office bearers to ensure the work in tandem with people expectations as promised by the new Dawn government. Justice Malila adds government's delivery is dependent upon the sacrifice of those appointed by the head of state to various positions.
Accepted ought to be appropriately reciprocated, and this means you undertaking your work with utmost integrity and dignity. The oath that you have taken this morning is a very serious oath. It in fact equates to a public commitment to honor and respect this appointment and to undertake to do the work for which you have been appointed with utmost diligence, integrity, independence, and above all, you have sworn before the Almighty God to be faithful and to bear true allegiance to the positions to which you have been appointed. Now, in the discharge of your responsibilities in the respective commissions in which you have been appointed, the expectations of the public are very high. You have been appointed on merit, and part of the responsibilities that you will have to discharge include appointments, transfers, discipline, placements, etc. of various public service workers. You should always ensure, in doing so, that merit is the determining criteria for you in appointments and in promotions. In the same way that you have been appointed on merit, insist on ensuring that those that are going to be appointed by yourselves in various public service positions merit those positions. And when it comes to discipline, again, I urge you to make sure that you allow due process, ensure that people exculpate themselves, listen to both sides before you take any action. But more importantly, I think it is very important for you as the governors in these public service sectors to ensure that those facing disciplinary processes and those whose cases have been proved are not merely recycled and sent to different places. By so doing, you will only be transferring problems from one area to another. Where discipline requires you to get rid of individuals from service, do not hesitate to do so. But it must be on very proven grounds. In your work, quite obviously, the temptation is great that you should appoint people based on partisan affiliation, on tribe, on nepotistic grounds, etc. Avoid that temptation, and as I said earlier, the guiding principle should be merit, and also regional and geographical representation, ethnic representation in these service commissions to which you will be you have been appointed. And so, once again, allow me to congratulate you most heartily. I sincerely hope that you will each find time to acquaint yourselves with not only the provisions of the Constitution that govern service commissions, but also the provisions of the Service Commission Act itself, so that you understand properly what your limits are and what the do's are and what the don'ts must be. So I sincerely hope that you will all enjoy your new positions and that you will deliver the expectations of the Zambian people. Thank you.
Thank you, my Lord. The Honorable, the Chief Justice.
In a final break, still more stories after that.
Welcome to the National Institute of Public Administration, NIPA. We are a management development institute under the Office of the Republican President of Zambia. We are the heartbeat of Zambian governance. Our core business is to train policymakers in business studies, management studies and legal studies on diploma, bachelor's and master's level. We groom intellectuals with management etiquette and global leadership skills. With more than 50 years of training, we pride in churning out industry-ready graduates that become global. You too can join our NIPA community today. We are in Lusaka, Livingston and Ndola. Enroll with us and study on part-time, full-time, distance learning and e-learning as approved by the BOS. Simply visit our website on www.nipa.ac.zm. Call the NIPA marketing team on 0950-000991. Or you can find us on facebook.com/mynipa. NIPA, excellence, probity.
Sometimes you just know that something ain't going good. You say to yourself, this ain't working for me.
Like when you don't got it?
Yeah, man, I mean, being smart means knowing when to stop. Know your limits.
So like knowing when to stop? Yeah, makes sense.
If it's not fun, choose to stop.
This advertisement is brought to you by Bet Power.
Where's Bob? Anyone seen Bob? Has anyone seen Bob? Bob? Bob! Bob!
Over here.
Where?
Over here.
How did you get in there?
With my Airtel Money MasterCard.
Airtel Money MasterCard? But you don't even have a bank account. How did you get a card?
Well, it's not a card, but it works just like one. It's virtual, so no plastic, and it's safer.
But what are you doing there?
I want to buy Nancy a birthday gift, book my flight tickets, renew my Big Click subscription, and order a shipment.
For all things online, the Airtel Money MasterCard. It's not a card, but works just like one. Get one on the Airtel Money menu on your phone.
For the rest of the news. Meanwhile, those sworn in have pledged to perform to their best abilities as instructed by the new Dawn government. Zambia Correctional Service Commission Vice Chairperson Warren Sibotwe has vowed to restore sanity in the correctional service by ensuring no corruption is entertained. Zambia Police Service Commission Vice Chairperson Namakau Kawiku has warned that she will not entertain any form of corruption from police officers across the country. Lands and Natural Resources Minister Elijah Muchima's entourage forced to abandon their trip to Mbenza using the Monze-Nico Road due to several washed-away crossing points along the Nico Road. Bwengwa Member of Parliament Mijelo Gasauta has cried to government to help them construct roads and bridges in the area. The minister, Elijah Muchima, on the other hand, has wondered why the people of Southern Province have been neglected to alarming levels. Mr. Muchima says because of such he will not stop demanding for development on behalf of the people of Southern Province so that they too can get a fair share in terms of development.
Independence from the time Zambia was born, this road has been neglected, and this is the road which worked hard. This is the road which our forefathers used when we were fighting for independence. This is the road where our forefathers used to drive their animals, okay, to Zambia Momba. But you can see how the previous regime, neglected this road. They didn't see any value, okay, on this road. But we, the people who live here, because it's ourselves who saw our forefathers driving animals to Zambia Momba, we value this road, and we are kindly asking the new Dawn regime under the leadership of Hakainde Hichilema that please come and work on this road quickly. Not that because this is where the president is coming from, but please you help us, Minister. I thank you for coming and appreciate the challenges we are facing here in Wengwa constituency, Minister. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate my coming here is actually to look at the natural resource and also to see, as you are aware, Monzi Township has no more land, and my ministry discharges what is called land development fund. So I wanted you and me to come here. We see which areas we can apply that money to open it up. And when we're looking at the population, we are almost 60,000 people, and it's about 60-70 kilometers. I've seen for myself that is totally impossible to pass through here. Most of the bridges are gone, and if the rain continues like this, to be completely cut off. Don't say because the president comes from here. That's where we should even begin from, because tomorrow people will say, look at the place where the president came from, and what did.
Well, on that note, we end the primetime news. Before we go, we look at the headlines once again. Police detains PF spokesperson Binoculars Nakachinda for defaming President HH. UPND member Chilekwa Munkonge Blast Nakachinda tells him and others to tone down. Unruly suspected UPND cadres to storm Given Lubinda Foundation. This Mumba Malila cautions the newly appointed commissioners. Ganyuni villagers in Monza district embroiled in land dispute. Well, thank you so much for having joined us for this primetime news today. We'll be back with the main news at 21:15 hours. On behalf of the entire production crew, my name is Kit Mumba.